There you go, friends. Doc South here, and I got an interesting email from a friend who wanted to know about cleaning records. And I just, uh, I haven't DJ'd in a while, but uh, and I hope maybe one day I can DJ some more. But it's actually records nowadays uh, seem to almost to see a DJ. Uh, Playing a record is almost unheard of anymore because everything's, I guess, sort of done with computers now. You can kind of tap in that you want to hear Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis, and your computer runs it through your speakers. The idea of someone using a record um, anymore is you don't see it happening that much. Um, Personally, I like records and CDs too. Um, Happy to use either when I DJ. I'm very happy to do that. In fact, it took me a while to get used to doing CDs. The longest time, I basically played 45s. That that look pretty much like that, and sit in little paper envelopes to keep them from getting scratched and dusty. Um, but still, there are people that use vinyl, as we call it, and it's a great way to pick up some great, wonderful songs nowadays. Because again, I don't. I guess there are people who are fanatic record collectors, and there's many people who sell them. Um, but again, a lot of it now, I guess, is cyber, which I guess is okay. It can be. I guess that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I know many a DJ gig I went on, I would have maybe two or three crates of LPs and three or four crates of 45s. Again, this being a 45, an LP being a relatively large record, like I just showed you. That usually would revolve at 33 and a third RPM, and a 45 was called now this 33 and a third LP. This would be 45, and this would revolve at 45 RPMs, and it had a big fat spindle that it sat on. Yeah, yeah. I That's pretty much what I've worked with. Computers didn't quite. I always figured I'd hit the wrong darn button and play something miserable, so I tended to stay away from the computer world. Though I guess if you know what you're doing, it's great. So in any case, cleaning. Well, basically, to do a 45, for instance, and you'll notice you want to look for a record if you're going to play one, especially at a gig. You want to make sure it kind of glistens. See that? Now, if it's all covered with dust and everything, you're not going to get a good sound. The needle that sits in the grooves here is going to pick up on that dust. And besides, you know, Elvis singing Heartbreak Hotel, you're going to hear a lot of like that. It's just not that good. Right. Okay. So what you do is you need a record cleaning device. That would be this, a brush. And this is nothing but a brush with a kind of felt on it. Okay. You can felt it if you want. Yeah, yeah, you go. And you get record cleaning solution. You can put a few drops of record cleaning solution either on the record. Actually, a lot of people do it on the record. Dry a few drops on the record, or a drop or two on the record cleaner, and you just like that. Again, taking care not to touch the grooves. These are the grooves. Okay, the needle on the record player is going to need to sense these. And these grooves are very thin. They can be fragile. You don't want to be hitting this with sandpaper. Okay. Um, linguine with clam sauce falling on your record. Not good. Not good. Okay. But what you do is before you put the record on the turntable and get it ready to be played, you make sure this has a little bit of moisture on it from a record cleaning solution. You might spray the record lightly, not heavily, but lightly on the groove, and you just go like that. Yeah, and you make sure that the song, the groove you want to play is you're looking at the side you want to play. In this case, if I had a record player going, I'd say, okay, this is great. Little Eva singing The Locomotion. There you go, written by Carole King. And you just plop that onto the turntable, and then very carefully set the needle, and bingo, there you go. The big thing is keeping your records clean and in jackets, such as this. One of these is great, and that's pretty much it. And not much different for an LP. This being an LP, this runs at 33 1/3 RPMs. You put this at 45, and you're going to hear the Chipmunks version of Magical Mystery Tour. Yeah, yeah, okay. And again, I would just hold it to me like this on the edge. You always try never to touch the song grooves of an LP or any record for that matter. Hold them by the edge. You can do it. It takes a little practice, or wear gloves. Not sandpaper gloves. I mean, good, smooth, silky gloves. And you just basically go like that with and just run it around. It doesn't take but a turn or two. And the record, you want to see a record that kind of has a glisten to it. You see it? Yeah. If you can sort of see yourself in the album, in the record, good. And you want to look for scratches or anything and try not to use your fingers. Like here, I see one little speck of dust there. See it? Now that's not going to bother anyone too much. The old needle on the tone arm is going to hit that and it'll be smithereens. But if you can get it off there, so much the better. And bingo, that's what you do. You go play it. Everybody's dancing. Maybe that girl that cute blonde, is dancing over all by herself. Maybe that's a good time for you to mosey over and shake a leg too. You never know. I know Sandy at any record hop was always pretty much the first one on the floor and the last one to leave. And always loved watching her dancing. Oh, and then when you're done, put the record back in the doggone jacket, for crying out loud. Don't leave them out. And don't leave them in the sun, because a record can warp if you give it enough sunlight. I don't have one here, but on occasion I've had the sad misfortune of a record that was sitting like in a car. It got too hot, and the record, instead of being flat, was more like that. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And your tone arm can work wonders, but it can't handle the no, it ain't happening. That's when you may as well kiss goodbye, or heat it up a little more, turn it into a nice fruit bowl, something like that. But you're not going to be playing it for very long. Might be interesting. I guess the tone arm going up and flying through the air and landing on a new spot on the record. Maybe, but okay, you get the idea. Record cleaning isn't very hard to do at all. Just get some good record cleaning solution and a brush for just getting the dust off the record. and for cleaning it a bit. Sometimes some people like to put a little bit of record cleaning solution on the brush. Nothing wrong with that either. Okay. I'll see you later. Hope that helped. Believe it or not, people are playing records a lot lately. It's good to see. I don't DJ much anymore. I'd love to. My problem is that a lot of the records I play, sadly, no one. They're too old for folks. I mean, I play stuff from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and a little bit of the 70s. That leaves me something like 50 years behind the times, right? 40, 50 years behind. Yeah. So, and I really don't want to get into all that electronic gear because the computers and stuff, computers and I don't mix. It's an ugly scene, me with a computer. It's no, not good, not good, bad, bad. So Sandy works a computer in our house. Doggone it. Bless her heart too. I'll see you later. Bye now. God bless.